Folks, let me tell you, we spend more time thinking about what kind of coffee to get than what kind of fuel we put in our multi-thousand-dollar machines. It's wild. But gasoline is fascinating stuff. Did you know that a single gallon of gasoline contains the same amount of explosive energy as 14 sticks of dynamite? That's right. Every time you fill up your minivan, you're loading it with the equivalent of a cartoon coyote's entire arsenal. It's a miracle we're all not just driving around in craters. And get this, gasoline actually used to be a useless byproduct of refining kerosene for lamps. The smell of gasoline is another one of those things we all recognize. But that distinct aroma comes from a chemical called benzene. The energy in that 1 gallon of gas? If you could somehow harness it to power your body, it would be enough to climb Mount Everest. Twice. Suddenly, getting 25 miles per gallon doesn't sound so bad, does it? It's all about perspective, people. All right, let's get down to the brass tacks. You pull up to the pump, you see those 3 magical numbers, 87, 89, 91, or maybe 93. What do they even mean? It's all about octane, folks. Octane is not a measure of power. Octane is not power, it's a measure of stability. It tells you how much the fuel can be compressed before it spontaneously combusts. Think of it like a chili pepper, habanero, bell pepper. It just means it can handle more heat before it makes you cry. Same thing with gasoline in your engine's cylinders. Regular gasoline, 87 octane. It's the bell pepper of the fuel world. Mid-grade, 89, jalapeno. A blend of regular and premium. Premium, 91 or 93. This is your habanero, designed for high compression engines, turbos, and performance cars. Using lower octane there risks engine knock. So, why are some cars perfectly happy sipping on 87 octane while others demand the pricey stuff? It all comes down to what the engineers were trying to achieve when they designed the engine. For your everyday commuter car, the goal is efficiency and reliability. They use a lower compression ratio, which is the measurement of how much the air-fuel mixture gets squeezed in the cylinder. A lower ratio, say 9:1 or 10:1, doesn't put a lot of stress on the fuel. It's a gentle squeeze. Regular 87 octane gas can handle that pressure just fine, but then you get to the high-performance engines. These are the divas of the automotive world. To get more power, engineers either cram more air in with a turbo or increase compression ratios to 12:1 or higher. Squeezing the mix harder makes a bigger explosion, but low-octane fuel could detonate on its own. This is called engine knock. It sounds like marbles rattling, and it can wreck pistons. Premium gas is essentially knock insurance. The octane number rates knock resistance, not power. Modern ECUs listen for knock. If they hear it, they retard ignition timing. The car runs okay, but with less power and economy. So you save a few bucks, but lose performance. The key is, match fuel to what the manufacturer recommends. Oh, the stories I've heard over the years. People will believe anything when it comes to cars and fuel. One of my favorite old-timey myths, mothballs in the gas tank to boost octane. It actually has a tiny grain of truth. Mothball's main ingredient was naphthalene, which has a high octane rating. In the 1930s and 40s, people would drop a few in the tank. But naphthalene doesn't dissolve well and can clog fuel lines and carburetor jets. Another classic myth, better gas from a specific brand. People swear their car runs better on Shell, Chevron, or that friendly corner station. The truth, gasoline in a region often comes from the same refineries and pipelines. The base fuel is fungible. Differences come when brands add proprietary detergents and additives like Techron or V-Power that can help keep injectors clean. Quirky history. In the early days, you bought gas at a general store. No pumps, no octane labels. Early gas was inconsistent. One batch might run great, the next could make your engine knock. Biggest myth, fill up in the morning because cool gas is denser. Thermal expansion is real, but underground tanks keep temps stable. Savings are negligible. You'll save more by checking tire pressure than by chasing cooler gas at dawn. Now, this is a topic near and dear to my heart. Feeding a classic car is a whole different ballgame. For decades, the secret ingredient for high octane and valve protection was tetraethyllead. It boosted octane and cushioned valve seats, forming a protective layer. When leaded gas was phased out in the 1970s for environmental reasons, classic owners panicked. Without lead, older, softer valve seats could suffer valve seat recession, a slow engine killer. Fix: hardened valve seat installation. Machine shops grind and press new steel seat rings. Once done, you can run modern unleaded safely. If you don't want headwork, use lead substitute additives with phosphorus or sodium each fill up. They work well for gently driven cars. Real leaded fuel exists for racing/off-road, but it's expensive, rare, and illegal on public roads. For most owners, hardened seats or a good additive is the practical path to keep classics on the road. Enjoy the drive. When you get into serious performance, racing, the gasoline game changes. The stuff at your corner station is like tap water to a professional racer. They use fuels with octane numbers like 100, 110, or even 116 plus. These fuels are engineered to let engines be pushed to absolute limits without detonating. Racing fuels are also blended for specific applications. Naturally aspirated, turbocharged, oxygenated blends, etc. Some are oxygenated, chemical supercharging that allows burning more fuel and more power. You can smell the difference. C16 is pungent and beloved by racers. But these exotic fuels can corrode rubber plastic in normal fuel systems. Not for your Honda Civic. Racing fuel is bought from specialty suppliers in 5-gallon pails or 55-gallon drums. Costly stuff. Often $15, $20 a gallon. For racers worth every penny, a race can turn on 1/1000th of a second. Now, you may have seen a pump with a bright yellow handle labeled E85. 85 is a fuel blend of up to 85% ethanol and only 15% gasoline. Ethanol is essentially a high-proof alcohol, like the stuff in vodka but denatured to be undrinkable. In the US, most ethanol comes from corn, hence the Midwest Association. Good E85 has a high octane, around 105, loved by tuners. They ramp up boost and gain lots of horsepower without knock. It burns cleaner and can reduce some emissions. Bad. Ethanol contains about 30% less energy per gallon, so fuel economy drops. A car that got 30 mpg might only get 21-22 mpg on E85. Even if cheaper per gallon, you buy more of it. Savings can disappear. Only use E85 in flex fuel vehicles. They have special lines, sensors, and ECUs to handle it. Putting E85 in a regular car can corrode components. Stick to certified flex fuel cars. Alright, we've covered a lot of ground. So how do you use this info at the pump without a meltdown? It's incredibly simple. 99% of the time, the answer is printed on your fuel door or gas cap. The manufacturer tells you, often unleaded fuel only, or premium unleaded fuel only, 91 octane minimum. That's it. That's the gospel. Engineers spent millions figuring the perfect fuel. Matching it preserves performance and longevity. If it says regular unleaded, use 87. Using higher octane in a car designed for regular is usually wasted money. If premium recommended, you can choose premium to get full advertised performance, or regular and let the ECU detune. Do a few tanks, compare MPG versus cost. If premium's MPG benefit outweighs price, use it. Otherwise, regular is fine. But if your car says premium required, always use recommended octane. Skimping risks multi-$1,000 engine repairs. So we've come to the end of our journey. You now know more about octane, additives, and ethanol than 99% of drivers. You're practically a petroleum engineer at this point. One last myth. Top-tier gasoline. Is it just marketing? No. It's a real voluntary detergent standard developed by automakers. Top tier meets higher detergent levels to prevent carbon deposits that hurt injectors and intake valves. Independent tests show top tier reduces deposits and can even clean existing buildup. Final tip. Forget brand loyalty. Choose a station that sells top tier when possible. It often costs no more and gives long-term benefits. Small choices make a big difference. Keep these machines running smoothly. Now go enjoy the drive. If you like this, hit like and subscribe to Next Verse for more fun facts.